This evening, we're going to talk about a couple of exciting digital modes that are available for consideration for emergency communications. This presentation tonight is an overview and not meant to be a comprehensive study of the subject. And I will, at the end, there's a slide with some helpful links and resources that you can look through to get more information, more in-depth information. Tonight is simply an introduction to these two digital modes. We're going to talk tonight about APRS, which is the automatic packet reporting system, and the Meshtastic messaging system. A couple of really neat modes that you could consider for emergency communication. What spurred this presentation tonight is wanted to just make a quick report about what we're doing in the Territon stake. We have some unique challenges in our stake. Our stake is very big geographically. There are a few geographic features within the stake that kind of prevent us from having good GMRS capability, and since we can't link repeaters through GPRS or GMRS, we had to consider a couple of other things to try to stay in contact with each other with our stake operators. Another challenge that we have, our operators are great operators, but several of them are involved in agricultural pursuits that take them out of the area quite often, or are involved with fire and EMS support, and likewise out of the area quite a bit. And so these two modes enable us to stay in contact with those that are mobile and on the go, and also within our big geographical area. So we are doing some testing with the APRS right now, and so far we really like it, and it's working pretty good. So anyway, with that, we'll make the introduction tonight and let you decide whether or not it is something that you would like to consider for your stake plan. There are slides on the ERC website, and you can go ahead, if you haven't already, go ahead and pull those up, and we'll get started. All right, please go with me to slide number 2. Okay, both APRS and Meshtastic are similar in a lot of things that they're able to do. They can serve essential roles in enabling off-grid communication and enhancing emergency preparedness and emergency communications. They offer features that allow users to send messages, to share locations, and to maintain connectivity without relying on traditional infrastructure like cell phones or the internet. You could do messaging. They allow users can send text messages to one another. Generally, they're pretty short, but they are effective. And if you learn how to be concise or to have a prearranged system of shorthand to communicate with each other, then you can do it pretty efficiently. They provide a mapping function or GPS tracking, and you can track the locations and also know where people are in real time, which is tactically very useful. They provide a way to communicate off the grid if cell phones are down or jammed or busy and you're not able to get through that way, or if the internet is not functional. They provide a way to communicate when those networks and cell phone networks are down. So, pretty cool stuff. Proceed to slide 3. Talk just a little bit. Again, tonight is just an overview, just to give you an idea of what it could be considered for it. One of the advantages, let's talk about APRS first. The advantages and disadvantage of APRS. And if you look, the graphic in the slide there is a picture of a screenshot of a website that you can go to look at who's on APRS in your area or around the world, really. The map is movable, and you can look in different areas and see what stations are on APRS at any given time. That website is APRS.fi, and again, this is the website APRS.fi, not the iPhone app APRS.fi. Gets a little bit confusing between those two, but this is on the web, and if you just any search engine that you go to, if you type in APRS.fi, you can pull this up and look at that map. The automatic packet reporting system, it's a well-established protocol, and the infrastructure is very robust. Some of the pros of APRS is that it gives you a longer communication range, and it is suitable for pretty extensive coverage. There is a well-established network of digipeaters, including in our area, digipeaters that the APRS system uses to extend your range and be able to communicate more effectively very far. Recently went on a trip over to the Haley area, Sun Valley, and I was able to communicate with the KB7ITU back here in this area through APRS, and so that was kind of a fun little excursion and experiment, and gives you an idea of some of the range that you can get with it. The established infrastructure, it includes, there are a lot of people on APRS and a lot of people using it, which is nice because that most people are Elmers, and they are willing to help with that. So, okay, let's talk about a few of the disadvantages of APRS. Please go to slide 4. Some of the cons with APRS, and again, this is comparing APRS with Meshtastic. APRS requires a ham radio license to operate, which may limit the accessibility a little bit. And some would argue that actually makes it a nice thing because ham radio operators tend to be more disciplined, and they and a lot of times a little bit more nice. And so it's kind of nice that way. It can be, APRS can be a little more complex to set up than Meshtastic. Meshtastic is pretty easy, pretty simple. And it requires a little bit, used to require a little bit more equipment. You can see in some of the pictures there, if you have a signal link hooked up to your VHF radio, you can do APRS. And then there are programs like Pinpoint APRS and others that are very useful. And you could, if you have a signal link, you can do APRS. The other picture, the small picture with the little black box in there, is a picture of a mobile link TNC. That TNC is really great because it allows you to do both APRS and packet radio. So does the signaling, for that matter. And a couple of exciting things that have come out recently is there are a couple of great handhelds, and they're basically the same radio. One's made by BTEC and one's made by BGC that have built-in TNCs in them. They also interface through Bluetooth to your phone, and you can program the radio from your phone. And you can also send messages via APRS link to the phone. You can do it, both radios there, both radios along with the BGC VRN 7600 that you see pictured there, which is a mobile unit. It does the same thing. You can interface it through Bluetooth through your phone, program it. It has APRS and also a KISS DNC, so that you can do WinLink through packet through the TNC in all of those radios, which is really nice. So anyway, so that's some of the exciting things with APRS that are there, but it does require that equipment, and so that can be a con or a disadvantage if you're on a tight budget. Okay, let's go to slide 5. Talk just a minute about Meshtastic. Meshtastic is a system that uses low raw technology, which is a very low power technology, generally about 1 watt, and it gives you the capability of sending messages, short messages, through. Basically, the system works a lot like APRS, where it requires you to be close to nodes, other nodes that are doing Meshtastic, in order to connect and make the mesh work. And so some of the pros of Meshtastic, you don't have to have a license to do Meshtastic. It makes it a little more accessible to more people, but not requiring a license. The other thing is you have the capability of sending encrypted messages through the Meshtastic system, giving you more privacy. With APRS, you have to follow the same rules that we do with ham radio, and the messages cannot be encrypted. Okay, some of the cons of Meshtastic, or the disadvantages, is that 1 watt at 915 megahertz, by the way, is the band that it's on. Gives you a really short range, a very, very short range compared to APRS, and that's where it requires you to have nodes that are close to you in order to make it work. The infrastructure is still developing with it, but more and more people are using it and coming online with it. And just to put the word out, we have been testing it some in the area here, and we do need more people to get on. If you're interested in it, please get a device and get on. You can do it for less than $100, and if you can get on and start playing with it, the more the merrier, and we can get a more robust system in the area. It would be really great. Okay, let's go to slide 6. All right. Talk about what would we use both of these for in emergency communications. How can you use it? Both systems give you some flexibility and how you can communicate. And again, it's all off-grid. No cell phones, no internet, just much like radio. Well, it is radio, VHF radio on APRS, and of course, Meshtastic uses the 915 megahertz band. But you can use it in emergency preparedness or emergency situations. They can be great for natural disasters or emergencies. You can use them on hiking and outdoor adventures, and you can use both systems or either system to stay connected when you're out in remote areas. One thing that APRS in particular really shines with is when you're doing support activities for events that happen in our communities. One event that we have used APRS on very, very effectively this last summer was the Teton Dam Marathon. We used APRS to communicate the bib numbers of the runners as they ran by the check station, and it worked really, really slick. It's really nice to be able to have that capability. As you see in the graphic, these work when there's no cell phone, no internet, when you're hiking, or when you're doing community support. Okay, let's go to slide 7. One other thing that I'll mention tonight is the hybrid of the two systems called APRS Tastic. I call it Frankenstein because it kind of puts the two together, kind of like you're putting a Frankenstein monster together. But it does. This is still very much in development, but it is something that if you're interested in, get on and try it. Why not? Experiment with it, see if it works, and if you can get it to work. The APRS Tastic is a bidirectional gateway for Meshtastic users with amateur radio licenses. It runs on the stock Meshtastic devices, and just for the record, if you're going to try this, you need more than one Meshtastic device. You'll need at least 2 in order to make it work. But you can extend your range with Meshtastic. You can through the APRS system, and vice versa. You can send your APRS through Meshtastic. You can send a APRS message through the Meshtastic system as well. And so it works pretty good. There's a great video link for a video on that on YouTube if you're interested in learning more about that. Okay, let's go to slide 8. All right. Again, as I said before, I don't claim to be an expert on any of this, but I have played with both systems and I like them. And I am particularly fond of APRS, especially for use in our state here in Carrollton. But what we can take away from what we've talked about tonight is that both Meshtastic and APRS, they facilitate off-grid communication for emergency communication capability, and APRS offers a longer range and established infrastructure, but it requires a license. Meshtastic is license-free and encryption-friendly, but has a shorter communication range. Each system has unique use cases, from emergency preparedness to outdoor adventures, and the systems can be merged or used separately. And I made a list of some useful links there to learn about more about APRS, more about Meshtastic, more about how Meshtastic works, and then one other one there at the end there, a great resource on YouTube are videos done by Kilo Mike for Alpha Charlie Kilo Jason, and he lives in Tennessee, and he has done a lot of testing with both of these systems and has some really good tutorials and helpful videos on how to get them up and running and to use the systems. And so you can check out him on YouTube. And also he does a blog. It's called hamradiotherapy.com, and he does a lot of great articles about both systems, about a lot of things to do with the amateur amateur radio, and so it's a really good resource that I highly recommend. Tonight's presentation was taken from one of his blogs and used by his permission. And so thank you. I know he can't hear me, but I'm grateful for him letting us use that tonight. So let's go to slide 9. That is the end of our discussion for tonight. I tried to keep it short, and hopefully it wasn't informative, and I didn't confuse you too bad. But are there any? Let's open it up for questions or comments to the group. Please come now.
KB7ITU.
KB7ITU. Go ahead, Steve.
Good evening, everybody. Wonderful presentation. You took it right away from me. That was the one I was going to planning for the one when I had one, but that's cool. That's not bad at all. A couple of things that I'd like to get also that might be of interest to people. So APRS, if you have to hop more than twice usually, and you're depending on a signal to get through, depending on how busy it is, it may not get through, and the problem that you have there is you don't know it. A lot of times you can set an auto answer on some of the software that you've got that will auto answer when the station connects to it. For instance, if I'm not around the radio, I'll put my auto answer on and it'll say message received and saved or something like that, and so you can do that. But it's not a solid connected state packet, right? So it's not like the old packet radio stations used to be where you got verification of contact each time you sent a packet message out. The other station would have to acknowledge that, and then the sending station would send the next packet. That's not the way it works on APRS. APRS is a non-connected state that just digipeats basically what you hear, and it only does it just once. It'll do it, several hops, but it will only do it once. It won't verify that the other station has received that information. It's a great software. There's no doubt about it, and it does work well for in-field use, close range especially. And they do have APRS, VARA APRS out now for HF, and it works really well too. The other thing, break to the repeater. The other thing is be advised also, if you're going to use APRS Meshtastic APRS, there is an amateur band that you use on the 400 megahertz range, and it does allow you full power output. So Meshtastic can be used for licensed amateur radio operators on those frequencies. However, your family won't be able to use it along with you. So that's all I had, Richard. Thank you, and great presentation. KB7ITU.
Sounds like motivation to get your family licensed on ham radio. Anyway, thank you, Steve. I appreciate that comment. Are there any other questions or comments? Please come out.
N7RGW.
N7RGW. Go ahead, Larry.
Yeah, just a comment on Meshtastic. For anybody who's interested, the node that I have several nodes up, but one of them has received 134 separate individuals. It ranges from this area over into Teton, over into Twin Falls, Idaho, and occasionally I'll even see something down in Utah, just from my home area. And it can connect to the internet, although I'm not really fond of connecting Meshtastic to the internet because that sort of defeats the purpose in it. And but it does work for sending short messages.
It does, and thank you, Larry, for your comment. I was hoping you'd be on tonight and comment about Meshtastic. If you need to have questions about Meshtastic, Larry's a great resource. He's done a little bit more with it, and he's helped a bunch of the rest of us out. He helps us with a lot of things, but Meshtastic is one of the great ones. So thank you, Larry. Any other questions or comments, please come now. Nothing heard. Well, I hope you found tonight's presentation informative, and if you have any questions, feel free to get a hold of me or Steve, KB7ITU, or Larry, N7RGW, and we'll do our best to answer those questions. Thank you for your attention this evening, and I'll go ahead and turn it back to Holly, KF7BRO. Back to you, Holly. Thank you.